I'm standing right beside my running Harbor Freight Predator 3500 watt inverter generator. It's super quiet, but will it be once we go ahead and put a load on it? Well, let's find out in this episode of Travels with Delaney. Welcome back, everyone. If you're joining us for the first time, we'd sure appreciate it if you'd hit that subscribe button and the little bell right beside of it so you get notified each and every time we put up a new video. And for real-time updates, you can check us out over on our Facebook page and Instagram or Twitter at travelswithdelaney.com. All right, on to this week's episode. So if you remember last winter, I did a video review of my brand new Harbor Freight Predator 3500 watt generator where we tested how loud it actually was using a real simple app on our iPhones. I compared that against our original generator, which is the Generac IX2000, and we found out that that Harbor Freight 3500 watt generator is super quiet. But because I was doing that review in the winter, I was unable to actually test it with the AC running in our NuCamp Tab 400. So, as I promised you from that video, I'm going to go ahead now and run a test using the AC to see what happens to the noise level on both the Harbor Freight 3500 watt and the Generac IX2000. Now, just a side note, the Generac will run the AC in our NuCamp Tab 400. However, it's really pushing its limits. The reason we can run it with this 2000 watt inverter is the Generac actually is a running 2000 watt inverter generator with a peak of 2200 watts. So be careful if you're buying another 2000 watt inverter. You definitely want to read to make sure where it runs at and where it peaks out at. All right, so the way we're going to run this test is real simple. I'm going to do just like I did last winter when I ran the original test. We're going to set up about 24 feet away from the actual generator with the generator exhaust pointing at us so we get the most sound. We're going to go ahead and take a decibel reading, and then I'm going to go in and I'm going to turn on that AC, and we're going to see what happens when the AC turns on and when the compressor kicks in. You're definitely going to hear it kick in on the Generac. We'll see what happens with the Harbor Freight. If you didn't see that video, before you start this video, you may want to consider checking it out, and I'm going to go ahead and link it for you up above. All right, let's get set up, and we're going to test them out. Before we get started, let's just do a real quick recap. So this is the Harbor Freight Predator 3500 watt inverter generator. Now I paid $6.99 for this last summer with a coupon, but I also purchased an extended warranty on it so that if I have any issues for the next 2 years, I can just return it to Harbor Freight and get a new one. I've actually found Harbor Freight to be very good in honoring those extended warranties with not many questions being asked. So some of the things that I love about this, besides the fact that it's super quiet and the fact that I'm going to have plenty of power to power anything I want in my Tab 400, I really love the fact that it has a special plug that comes with it so I can plug my 30 amp cord directly in. I don't have to do any downsizing, reducing my power. Second thing I love about it is the electric start. All I have to do is push one button and it fires right up. And did I mention it's super quiet? I'm sitting right beside of this and I'm having no issues talking to you. It has a digital gauge on it, so I know exactly what's going on with the power supply. Now the real downside to this is going to be the fact that it's bigger than our 2000 watt Generac. Takes up more space in the tow vehicle, and it's about twice as heavy, coming in at least 100 pounds, and then by the time you add fuel into it, it can weigh a little bit more. But overall, I'm loving this generator. I can tell you that over the winter our power went out a couple times here at the house, and I actually plugged it in and on the front porch, and we used it to power some essentials in the house until our power came back on. So let's get to the reason for this actual video though, is what's going to happen to the sound level when we actually plug the trailer in and we turn that AC on. Because let's face it, most of us want a generator when we're boondocking for the purpose of turning the AC on so we can cool down our trailer. But what's going to happen? So I'm going to turn this around so that the exhaust is actually pointing towards us, so we're getting the loudest possible sound from the actual generator. Then I'm going to go in, turn that AC on, and we're going to see what happens using our decibel app on our iPhone. right, there you have it. So the Generac will run the AC, but you notice by that decibel meter reading that it really jumps up and it goes somewhere between about 73 and 75 decibels. Once the compressor kicks in, there was that initial surge, and then it kind of bounced around 73, 74, 75 decibels. So it's not, again, the loudest generator on the market, and I have had people comment what exactly would be louder. Well, I've seen people in campgrounds with open frame generators that are significantly louder, but it's definitely not the quietest. Now let's go ahead and fire up the Harbor Freight Predator 3500 watt and let's see how it does. And there you have it. The Predator is almost 10 decibels quieter when the AC is running. You saw that little bit of surge when the compressor kicked in, and then it settled back down right around 61, 62 decibels. So significantly quieter than the Generac and providing a lot more power than that Generac. Now just remember, the Harbor Freight 3500 weighs almost twice as much as the Generac or those smaller 2000 watt generators. However, you're going to be able to run a lot more, and what I love about it is, again, it's super, super quiet. Now, for all of you Honda owners, nobody's disputing Honda really is the champion of generators. But for the price difference, I can buy 3 of the Harbor Freight Predators for what the cost of a similar Honda would run me. If you have the money for a Honda, they're a great generator. They'll last a really long time. They're reliable and they're super quiet. But if you're on a budget like me, then you might want to consider this Harbor Freight Predator for your needs. All right, if you have any comments or questions, feel free to drop them down below. I hope this answers the questions you had from our first video. And until next time, everybody, we'll see you on down the road. Good night.